Another thing is there are some out of sync prior to meeting. For example, Marco think Casey will do the Mandarin speech, so he cannot do. Casey will do English speech, he cannot do Mandarin speech, and then he end up only have 2 speech today. Yeah, I think we should definitely find a way to think better in the future. So when we start, when I notice Yifei, you most of the time you cross your arm. And then Philip's the Q&A is very interesting, and just at the beginning the Q&A probably is a little bit too long, so that you run out of time. Do you finish your speech or you?
Cut short.
Cut short. And at the beginning, you should read object of each speech. Need to. Some of you didn't mention the word of day, especially speeches didn't mention word of day.
Mention what?
The word of the day.
Word of day.
Word of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, in Andy asked very good, interesting questions. Usually people, just as Yifei say, usually people need to, tabletop master need to point out people to answer, but you ask a good question, everybody want to answer. Yeah, in general, it's a great section. It's very, I learned a lot today. It's great, very nice location. The speech is very informative, and the time control very well. And then you say Yifei is your first time to be Toastmaster?
Yes.
Oh, great! Yeah.
Good work.
They've been doing very well.
Good work.
Yeah, it's a great meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amy, for that wonderful General Evaluator report. And for the final part of the meeting, we need to have guest feedback. So James, I believe, is our only guest today.
Yeah.
So just in a sentence or two, what did you think of your meeting? What did you think of the meeting today?
Okay, well, this is my first Toastmasters group meeting. I was very impressed. Very impressed with all the speeches, especially the Mandarin. It was very enjoyable. Yeah, it's very structured, good use of time. I'd love to come back.
Great.
Nothing but
That was
positive.
my question. Are you gonna keep that going? So, before we close out the meeting and turn things over to Robert, I just wanted to mention that Rebecca, you had a great agenda. And I was wondering, last week, you put one together. So if you wouldn't mind maybe sharing that with one of the officers or with me, so that we can use that as one of our agenda templates, that would be, I'd appreciate it. I used the old agenda, and Alan probably was surprised to see that he's going to set next week's agenda, but that was because my old agenda was for when Alan was president. Today we have Robert to set the agenda. So.
下一需要讲这个吗？对，下一都不会讲了。下一步呢，我们要请 Robert 把下个星期的日程安排准备好。我上星期没有来，所以我不知道大家他刚才所提到那个 agenda 是多么的好，所以现在让我。非常 curious， agenda 是什么样子？好，下面就我们来讲一下下个星期的安排。
好。
谢谢。谢谢大家今天晚上来到这个演讲会，我真的非常高兴，今天晚上呢有一个新的地方。可以让我们继续我们那个会，因为之前我们那个地方就比较少一点，所以这个地方应该比较适合。今天晚上我就先谢谢两位那个主持人 Ken 和一菲，我们再给他们 Clap. Good job, Tom. Okay, so that's my Mandarin for the day. Let's go ahead and set the agenda for next week. Next week it's going to be a little bit different. Next week we're going to be having a speech contest. The goal of the speech contest is to advance some of the people, the winner of the contest, going to the district level. So next week's speech contest is going to be, there's two. The first one is going to be international speech. That's going to be a 5 to 7 minute speech. Topic of your choice has to be original. And the second type of speech, we're going to have a telltale speech. That's about 3 to 5 minutes. And that is more of an exaggerated speech. Again, that's going to be pretty much the whole meeting for next week. Now, it depends on the participation level. If we do have enough time, we will be switching over to the table topics so that we can fill in the speech, we can fill in the remainder of the time. If we have a lot of participants, then we will definitely use up the whole meeting to do the contest. Now, I understand we already have a couple of people who are interested in participating for next week's contest. Are there a show of hands here who would like to think about participating in next week's contest?
If you can make it next week's meeting, can I re-enter in 2 weeks? Because I won't be here for the next week, but I really love to join the conversation.
That's going to be difficult. I really have to apologize because the speech contest or the district level contest is going to be in March. So what we want to do is we want to get the contest or the winner out as soon as possible, so then we can go back to the regular schedule.
Can you just elaborate what is international speech?
Oh, it's just a speech of your choice, 5 to 7 minutes. So really, there is not a set topic, but you can talk about anything you like. For example, you can talk about yoga, and then you can talk. Right, you can talk about yoga. You can talk about how to speak better in English.
And it's called international because if you keep winning contests, you go to the international level, and you could be the world champion of public speaking. So that's the only reason why it's called international.
World champion, baby! We need one here. We need one here. We're going to start one right here. So we are going to get one out here. But so anybody would like to participate.
What's your vocal variety?
Anybody would like to participate in next week's speech contest, please send your information to Ursula, and she'll put up a list of people that's going to be participating. So
far I don't have anybody's names. If I'm
all right, let's right
something
now let's have a show of hands. Who would like to participate in next week's speech contest? Kathy.
Good word, Kathy.
Oh, I'm sorry. One thing I do like to point out first, there is a requirement. I'm sorry before I mention that. The requirement for the international speech contest is you must deliver at least 6 speeches. So you first have to be part of the club and you have to deliver 6 speeches before you can participate in the contest.
So how about Phil?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what?
Samuel?
How about Ursula?
Have you?
I haven't done
you
6
haven't
yet.
done 6 yet.
Allison?
Allison. Okay.
Yeah, I
done
also want
4.
to participate, but I haven't done 6.
But the tall tale doesn't need to be 6 speeches.
The tall tale does not need to be 6 speeches. And that is an exaggerated speech for 3 to 5 minutes.
Oh, you do it all.
If you need to get more information on what a telltale speech is, I can send you the link, like from YouTube, because I believe there's an example on YouTube as to what a telltale speech is all about. So for anybody else who'd like to participate in either one, just go ahead and send their information to Ursula.
How about
And-
Ken? Ken?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can make it next week.
Okay, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and also send out the information via email to everybody and try to push more people who have done the 6 speeches for participation. So I noticed that if you're keeping track of the records of how many speeches people deliver so far, theoretically, then we can push out or send an email out to those individuals and see if they're interested.
So what are the criteria for the international speech?
That's it. You have to give at least a minimum of 6 speeches.
So the evaluation could be anything like, is this funny? Is this structure? Is this
There, it's simply at the end of the day, we're gonna vote who do you think who gave the best speech. Simple. whether it be on the topic or whether, did you attract people's attention, whatever it is, we'll be voting on it at the end of the day. So there's no official guideline for the voting process.
I think Philip should do his speech, but hand out
all the money.
handouts, yeah.
I think he might win that one.
If you saw I get a low turnout for the next week, I would strongly suggest you to push back for 2 weeks. Until I come back.
Okay.
But
Well,
just saying.
regardless,
Why don't you
How about-
make a video of a speech and send it to us?
you know what? That is actually a good idea right
Yeah.
there.
So you can post it
Yeah.
on YouTube as an unlisted
I
video,
would
and
love
we
to
can
be there
still.
to receive the honor to get on to the next
You know
stage.
what? Guess what? We can make reaction videos.
Exactly. We'll do that.
The options are endless. So it sounds like we
Yeah,
need.
Skype now.
So we need a video by the beginning of next week's meeting.
No, I mean that's a good idea. You
Yeah.
can record it, then you can do it.
You're on the
I
hook
think
now.
actually officially that's not allowed. I don't know if you can squeeze it by at the club level or just try it for fun.
We'll squeeze it by at the club level. But the goal is if you're going to be moving on to the next level, you have to have the quality to advance further. So if you can squeeze by the club level, you may not be able to squeeze by the district level or the area level, whatever level, right? So that's what I'm saying. And I've heard Alan gave a speech before at the district level, and he did a fantastic job. So I have no problem with him doing the recording.
One thing that's really interesting is that a lot of people have sell products and services, and you have to create a speech that's recorded that 500 million people might actually see. So it's good practice. It's not something that is unauthentic in terms of what we use speeches for today, in my opinion.
Yes, but there are some rules and regulations, and Alan knows really well about the whole. Toastmasters is really old institution, even though for many years has been open, and there are some issues regarding to how to conduct the contest. And Alan knows really well what's happening.
Because the whole thing about Toastmasters is for you to get on the stage and speak in front of the people. That's one